In a shocking development, footage described as disturbing freak-off videos has surfaced in court, connecting hip-hop mogul Sean P. Diddy Combs to troubling allegations. These tapes, which have recently become part of a legal case, allegedly show parties hosted by Diddy, where questionable activities took place. This footage has raised eyebrows not only because of the activities themselves, but also due to the revelation that they were supposedly used to manipulate and control certain individuals. The legal case against Diddy has now caught the attention of the media and public, especially after Michael Jackson's name was linked to the footage, causing a stir among fans and observers alike. The charges against P. Diddy are serious, and they stem from accusations that he participated in illegal activities behind closed doors. So the freak-off footage allegedly shows high-profile gatherings where guests were encouraged, or in some cases forced, to engage in controversial behaviors. These events were reportedly recorded without the participants' knowledge and later used to exert power over them. So the footage has been referred to as a means to control people in Hollywood, providing leverage against those who attended these swimmated. Michael Jackson's connection to this case was unexpected, but it has had a major impact. The King of Pop, who passed away in 2009, had known involvement in such activities during his lifetime, so the mere mention of his name has shocked fans and reignited debates about his legacy. According to reports, Jackson's name was brought up because of an individual who was closely connected to both him and P. Diddy, their shared head of security. This person is said to have overseen security operations for both men during their careers, which has led to speculation about whether Jackson might have been present at or aware of such gatherings. Although there is no direct evidence linking Michael Jackson to any illegal activity, the fact that his name has been pulled into the conversation is enough to create waves. For Jackson's family and fans, this is troubling news, as they have been working tirelessly to preserve his legacy following his death. His name being involved in a case like this could potentially damage the reputation they've fought hard to protect. The inclusion of Michael Jackson in this case has only added to the drama surrounding Diddy's legal troubles. As the case continues to unfold, the public remains eager to see what new information may emerge and how it might affect both Diddy's and Jackson's legacies. With such high-profile figures involved, the court proceedings have drawn global attention, raising questions about Hollywood's hidden power dynamics and the lengths some will go to maintain control. Michael Jackson's death. Michael Jackson's passing on June 25, 2009, was a moment that shocked the world. Known as the King of Pop, Jackson had been planning a comeback tour in London titled This Is It, which was set to mark his return to the public eye after years away from performing. However, just weeks before the first concert, Jackson was found unconscious at his home in Los Angeles. Despite efforts to revive him, Jackson was pronounced dead later that day, sparking global mourning and years of speculation about the circumstances surrounding his death. The Los Angeles County Coroner's Office determined that Jackson's death was a homicide caused by a lethal dose of the powerful anesthetic propofol combined with other medications including lorazepam and midazolam. Propofol, typically used in hospitals for surgery, is a dangerous drug when used outside of a controlled medical environment. Jackson had been taking it to treat his chronic insomnia, a condition that plagued him for years. Dr. Conrad Murray, Jackson's personal physician at the time, was responsible for administering the medications. According to Murray, he had been giving Jackson propofol for about 6 weeks leading up to his death. The doctor had reportedly tried other sleep aids, but none had worked, leading Jackson to request the drug frequently. On the morning of June 25, 2009, Dr. Murray administered a mix of sedatives, but Jackson still couldn't sleep. Eventually, Murray gave him propofol, which led to Jackson becoming unresponsive. According to reports, Murray found Jackson unconscious at around 10:40 a.m. He tried to resuscitate him, but his efforts, which included performing CPR on a bed rather than a hard surface, were unsuccessful. Jackson was rushed to the Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center, where doctors continued attempts to revive him. Sadly, he was pronounced dead at 2:26 p.m. The autopsy confirmed that Jackson had died from acute propofol intoxication compounded by other sedatives in his system. Dr. Murray was charged with involuntary manslaughter for his role in Jackson's death. His actions raised several red flags, including his failure to immediately call 911 and the improper administration of CPR. He also gave Jackson multiple medications without adequate monitoring, which led to the fatal combination of drugs in Jackson's system. During his trial in 2011, it was revealed that Murray had made several phone calls after Jackson became unconscious, but before calling emergency services. The jury found these actions suspicious, contributing to their decision to convict him of involuntary manslaughter. Murray was sentenced to 4 years in prison, but was released after serving just 2 years due to good behavior and prison overcrowding. Well, since Jackson's death, there has been a great deal of speculation about what really happened. Some believe that his death was not accidental but part of a larger conspiracy. One of the most widely discussed theories involves Jackson's relationships with Sony Music. Jackson was outspoken about his issues with Sony, particularly over the control of his music catalog. He even accused the company of trying to sabotage his career. Michael Jackson's feud with Sony. The strained relationship between Michael Jackson and Sony Music was one of the most high-profile disputes in the music industry, culminating in a public feud in 2002. This feud, led by Jackson's vocal criticisms of then Sony Music chairman Tommy Mottola, revealed the challenges black artists often faced within the music industry and also hinted at deeper tensions surrounding control of Jackson's musical catalog. Jackson's relationship with Sony dates back to the late 1980s when the company acquired CBS Records, which distributed his albums. In 1991, Jackson renewed his contract with Sony Music, agreeing to produce several more albums. At this point, Jackson was at the peak of his career, having released massive hits like Thriller and Bad. However, behind the scenes, Jackson had concerns about the control the label had over his work. A pivotal point in Jackson's relationship with Sony came in 1995, when he merged his ATV music catalog, which included the rights to many famous songs, with Sony's music publishing company. This gave Sony a 50% stake in the valuable catalog. Over time, this partnership, while lucrative, became a source of tension as Jackson felt increasingly marginalized by the label. So in 2001, Jackson released Invincible, his first studio album in a decade. The album, while successful by normal standards, didn't achieve the monumental heights of his earlier works. Jackson was deeply dissatisfied with Sony's promotion of the album, accusing the label of deliberately sabotaging its success. He believed Sony had intentionally underfunded the marketing campaign, cutting it off 2 months before the album's release. In addition, Jackson was frustrated when Sony refused to release a charity single he had recorded in response to the September 11 attacks, titled What More Can I Give? He saw this as further evidence that the label was undermining his work. Adding to this growing list of grievances, a deal concerning the licensing of his album masters fell apart, pushing Jackson further away from Sony. Jackson's frustrations reached a breaking point, leading him to sever ties with the label and refuse to tour in support of Invincible. The most dramatic chapter in Jackson's battle with Sony came in 2002 when he publicly attacked Tommy Mottola, calling him racist and devilish. At a press conference with Reverend Al Sharpton, Jackson accused Sony and the wider music industry of exploiting black artists. Record companies really do conspire against their artists, Jackson declared. He specifically named Mottola, accusing him of mistreating artist dates and perpetuating racism in the industry. Jackson's accusations shocked the public and sparked debates within the music world. He even held up a poster of Mottola with devil horns and a pitchfork, solidifying his disdain for the executive. While Mottola and Sony denied the accusations, the feud cast a shadow over Jackson's career in the early 2000s. Following Jackson's death in 2009, conspiracy theories emerged suggesting Sony had played a role in his downfall. Some fans and public figures, including Kanye West, speculated that the label had conspired to sabotage Jackson's career, and in more extreme theories, even played a part in his death. One popular theory claimed that Sony sent doctors to Jackson's Neverland Ranch to harm him, but no evidence ever substantiated this claim. These theories gained traction because of Jackson's own fears for his life. He reportedly told friends and family that powerful entities were trying to silence him. His sister, LaToya Jackson, echoed these sentiments, claiming that Michael had feared for his life in the years leading up to his death. In the aftermath of Jackson's death, his estate saw a massive surge in profits, much of which flowed back to Sony. The label released the documentary This Eye's It, which grossed $250 million, along with a double album by the same name. In addition, Sony secured a deal to release 10 posthumous projects featuring Jackson's music, including the albums Michael in 2010 and Escape in 2014. Till deal, worth hundreds of millions of dollars, solidified Sony's control over Jackson's legacy, and some fans criticized Sony for continuing to profit off Jackson's work, especially since Jackson had fought so hard to break free from the label during his lifetime. Moreover, the 2010 Michael album sparked controversy when it was revealed that 3 of the songs were allegedly not sung by Jackson. Will.i.am, who had worked with Jackson, and Jackson's own family criticized the release, calling it inauthentic and a violation of the artist's perfectionist standards. Michael Jackson's feud with Sony was more than just a personal dispute. It highlighted broader issues in the music industry, particularly the exploitation of black artists. Jackson's accusations against Mottola and his dissatisfaction with the label's treatment of his work underscored the difficulties he faced in trying to take control of his own career. While there is no concrete evidence linking Sony to Jackson's death, the posthumous profits the label has made continue to fuel conspiracy theories. The link between P. Diddy and Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson and Sean Diddy Combs, two iconic figures in the entertainment industry, share a curious connection through their former head of security, Fahim Muhammad. This link has raised speculation and prompted discussions about the role Muhammad played in both of their careers and the controversies surrounding them. Fahim Muhammad, a man with close ties to law enforcement, was the head of security for both Jackson and Diddy at critical points in their careers. He became a central figure not only for his responsibility to protect these global superstars, but also for his influence in certain controversial situations, which has led to broader speculation about his role in their eventual downfalls. Muhammad's involvement with these celebrities is intriguing given his unusual career trajectory. After graduating from Sacramento State University in 2008 with a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, Muhammad quickly ascended to the position of head of security for Michael Jackson. Interestingly, he began his work with Jackson as a driver. But just a few months before Jackson's death in 2009, he was suddenly promoted to head of security. His rapid rise and relative inexperience have sparked questions about why such a critical role in Jackson's life was entrusted to him. Prior to his stint with Jackson, Muhammad had little background in celebrity security work. However, after Jackson's passing, his close relationship with Diddy added another layer of intrigue, especially given the legal and personal controversies Diddy has faced over the years. Muhammad's tenure as Diddy's head of security brought with it a wave of speculation, particularly regarding his reported ability to make people's problems disappear, as stated in a lawsuit filed by an individual close to the Diddy camp. According to this lawsuit, Diddy's head of security had significant connections within law enforcement, especially in key cities like Miami and Los Angeles, allowing him to navigate legal troubles trays. There is mention of an incident at the Chalice recording studio in 2022, where Rodney Lil Rod Jones details how Diddy, his son, Justin Combs, and his son's friend, G, walked into the room adjacent to Jones, and after a heated argument, Diddy's G, despite clear evidence of violence, no legal consequences befell Diddy, and the official story was reported as a drive-by shooting. This raised questions about Muhammad's influence on the LAPD. This specific skill set of handling sensitive situations has made some question whether Fahim Muhammad was more than just a security guard for both Jackson and Diddy. His ability to settle matters without legal consequences, coupled with his extensive connections to law enforcement, has led some to wonder whether he was privy to or even orchestrated the shielding of information that could have changed the course of both men's careers. The most significant event during Muhammad's time with Jackson was his presence in the final days of the pop star's life. Muhammad was one of the key witnesses in the trial of Dr. Conrad Murray, the physician convicted of involuntary manslaughter in Jackson's death. In his testimony, Muhammad described his actions on the day Jackson died but exhibited an unusually detached demeanor. He recounted how, upon receiving a call from Jackson's assistant, he returned to Jackson's home, but hesitated before entering. This hesitation has led some to speculate about Muhammad's true role during those crucial moments. Additionally, it is worth noting that in the months leading up to his death, Jackson was allegedly feeling unsafe under the new security team, which included Muhammad. Reports indicate that Jackson reached out to trusted former bodyguards and friends, requesting their presence because he felt uneasy and feared for his life. This discomfort raises questions about whether Jackson sensed that he was under more surveillance than protection. After Jackson's death, Muhammad transitioned to working for Diddy, where his involvement with law enforcement became even more apparent. According to several accounts, Muhammad was the point person for Diddy's legal matters, including serious incidents involving violence and criminal accusations. In Jones's lawsuit, it is alleged that Muhammad was called upon whenever Diddy or his entourage encountered legal troubles. His influence extended beyond California to Miami, suggesting he operated on a federal level, with the ability to fix problems across states. This immense power, combined with his prior employment under Jackson during the pop star's tumultuous final months, has fueled theories about Muhammad's deeper connections in the entertainment world and law enforcement. Some have speculated that Muhammad may have had access to sensitive information about both Jackson and Diddy, information that could potentially reshape public perception of these stars and their careers. Fahim Muhammad's role as head of security for both Michael Jackson and Diddy links two of the most influential men in the entertainment industry, particularly during periods of their greatest turmoil. His rapid rise in the security ranks, coupled with his law enforcement connections and ability to handle legal troubles, has led many to question how much power Muhammad truly wielded behind the scenes. While much of the speculation remains unproven, his involvement in both men's lives continues to invite scrutiny, particularly in light of the controversies that have surrounded them. Theories on Jackson's death and Fahim's involvement. There are a lot of rumors about Michael Jackson's death, and one name that often comes up is Fahim Muhammad. He was Jackson's head of security and was at the house on the day Jackson died in 2009. Some believe Fahim had a hand in Jackson's death, possibly working under orders from powerful people like Sean Diddy Combs. Fahim Muhammad arrived at Jackson's house sometime after 1:45 a.m. on the day Jackson died. He was there for about 25 minutes before leaving again. Some believe this short window of time was enough for him to mess with Jackson's 4 unit, speeding up the flow of the anesthetic propofol into Jackson's system. If this happened, it could have slowed Jackson's breathing to a dangerous level, eventually stopping his heart. Though there's no direct proof that Fahim did this, his presence at that critical time has raised many eyebrows. Jackson had been under extreme stress leading up to his This Is I've concert tour. Jackson was in poor health, yet AEG Live, the promoters behind the concerts, were pressing him hard. Jackson's reluctance to give up his medical records for insurance purposes raised questions about his well-being. Financially, Jackson was in debt, and this concert series was supposed to save him from bankruptcy. However, it's been suggested that powerful people wanted Jackson out of the way to cover up financial disputes or even dark secrets from his past. Some believe Jackson's vast influence and ownership of valuable assets, like the Beatles' catalog, made him a target. Others argue that he knew too much about the corruption in the entertainment industry, making him dangerous to those in power. The idea is that silencing Jackson would prevent future exposure of these dark truths. The narrative becomes more suspicious when considering the actions taken to cover up what really happened. If Fahim Muhammad was indeed involved in Jackson's death, His connections to powerful people in the industry and law enforcement could have been instrumental in covering it up. This theory suggests that the official story that Jackson's personal doctor, Conrad Murray, was solely responsible was a convenient scapegoat. Murray's negligence in administering propofol may have been true, but it's believed that other forces were at play behind the scenes. Timeline of events shows that Murray was on the phone for over 45 minutes, leaving a window of time for someone to enter Jackson's room and interfere with his medical equipment unnoticed. Considering Fahim went on to work for Diddy, it is no surprise that Diddy became known for his shady dealings and alleged ties to law enforcement, which he has long been accused of using hidden information and tapes to control others. Diddy, according to lawsuits and accusations, has a history of using hidden cameras to secretly record high-profile guests at his infamous freak-off parties. These tapes, allegedly featuring illegal activities, have been rumored to be a tool of blackmail. Attendees, unaware they were being filmed, would later find themselves at the mercy of Diddy, who could use the footage as leverage. The idea is that Diddy, by collecting dirt on powerful individuals, created a network of control, protecting himself from legal repercussions and potentially allowing him to exert influence over people like Fahim Muhammad. These tapes were said to include celebrities, athletes, and executives, and the compromising footage ensured their silence. It's rumored that this same tactic was used to control people in Diddy's inner circle, including Muhammad, who may have been pressured to assist in Jackson's death. Producer Roger Jones, who worked with Diddy, revealed in a lawsuit that Diddy had instructed him to record these events. Jones alleged that Diddy had hundreds of hours of footage, giving him immense power over anyone who attended his parties. This kind of control through fear and blackmail is how Diddy maintained his position at the top. If these theories are true, Fahim Muhammad's involvement with Diddy after Jackson's death could be more than a coincidence. Some believe that both Diddy and Muhammad were part of a larger network of powerful individuals who used any means necessary: blackmail, manipulation, and even murder to maintain control. The federal raids on Diddy's homes in 2023, where law enforcement confiscated footage, show that these accusations are taken seriously by authorities. In addition to these speculations, Kanye West's recent comments have stirred up more speculation about Michael Jackson's death, further fueling rumors of foul play. In a now-deleted tweet, Kanye alluded to conspiracy theories that Jackson was murdered. He referenced Jackson's warnings about Tommy and implied a connection to a larger scheme involving powerful people, hinting that Jackson's death might have been orchestrated by influential figures. This tweet reignited discussions and conspiracies surrounding Jackson's passing, suggesting that his death was not as straightforward as it seemed. In addition to this tweet, a resurfaced video from a 2022 interview with Kanye West has further stirred the pot. In this video, he made allegations against Diddy, suggesting that he was involved in a deal with law enforcement to stay out of trouble. These comments included labeling Diddy a Fed and claiming that Diddy was using his influence to target others. These accusations are part of a broader theory that certain celebrities make deals with authorities to avoid legal consequences in exchange for blackmailing or manipulating others. These allegations and conspiracy theories reflect poorly on Diddy, especially in light of the resurfaced footage of him allegedly abusing his ex, Cassie Ventura. The combination of these claims with the video has led many to question Diddy's behavior and his potential involvement in illegal or unethical activities. The public's fascination with these allegations and their potential links to Jackson's death has contributed to a growing narrative that Jackson might have been entangled in dangerous and covert schemes. Public reaction to these resurfacing controversies has been intense. Fans and critics alike have debated whether these claims about Diddy and West's comments have any basis in reality or are just part of a larger pattern of sensationalism. Some believe that these theories distract from Jackson's artistic legacy, while others feel that they shed light on darker aspects of the entertainment industry. The combination of Kanye's statements and the resurfaced footage has cast a shadow over Diddy's reputation, linking him to broader allegations of corruption and misconduct. The connection to Jackson's death, while speculative, has only deepened the mystery and distrust surrounding the circumstances of his passing. While Conrad Murray was convicted, some believe that the full truth has yet to be revealed. Whether Fahim Muhammad, Diddy, or other powerful figures had a hand in it is still debated. But one thing is clear: the world of high-profile celebrities and powerful executives is far more complex and darker than many realize. Impact on Michael Jackson's legacy. The resurfacing of controversies, including disturbing allegations against Sean Diddy Combs, has had a significant impact on Michael Jackson's legacy. Even though Jackson has been gone for over a decade, his name continues to be tied to ongoing scandals, especially due to his previous associations with powerful figures like Diddy. The emergence of rumors surrounding hidden footage and parties hosted by Diddy has caused fans and the public to re-examine not only Diddy's behavior, but also how Jackson might have been influenced by or connected to these individuals. The allegations against Diddy put everyone who associated with him under scrutiny, including Jackson. Although there is no direct evidence linking Jackson to these activities, the speculation alone has caused some to question whether Jackson was aware of or involved in the darker side of Diddy's world. This has, unfortunately, tainted Jackson's legacy to some extent, especially among those who are quick to believe in conspiracy theories surrounding his life and death. Fans of Michael Jackson have responded with mixed emotions. His most loyal supporters continue to defend him, arguing that these allegations against Diddy have nothing to do with Jackson's character or actions. Many view this as yet another attempt to tarnish Jackson's image posthumously, as they believe the media has long been focused on dragging his name through the mud. However, others, particularly those more inclined to believe in celebrity conspiracy theories, are more willing to entertain the idea that Jackson was somehow involved or complicit, creating a rift among his fan base. Public responses have also varied. Some see the ongoing controversies as a broader reflection of the corruption and exploitation within the entertainment industry, suggesting that Jackson may have been both a victim and a player in a game of power and control. Others express frustration that Jackson's legacy, particularly his contributions to music and culture, is continually overshadowed by scandals, whether real or imagined. While there is no definitive evidence linking Michael Jackson to Diddy's alleged crimes, these resurfacing controversies continue to cast a shadow on his legacy, sparking debates and further conspiracy theories. However, his fans remain fiercely protective of his reputation, determined to separate his artistic genius from the unsavory actions of those around him. Concluding thoughts. The various controversies surrounding Michael Jackson's death and the allegations against Sean Diddy Combs paint a complex and troubling picture. As we have explored, Jackson's passing in 2009 has been shrouded in mystery and speculation, partly fueled by the recent resurfacing of old footage and allegations. Michael Jackson was a global icon whose death was officially ruled as a result of acute propofol and benzodiazepine intoxication administered by his personal physician, Dr. Conrad Murray. However, the official narrative has been questioned by many, especially in light of recent claims and theories. The resurfacing of footage showing disturbing behavior by Diddy, along with Kanye West's provocative statements, has only intensified the debate. Kanye's allusions to conspiracy and Diddy's alleged ties to law enforcement and troubling behavior have given new life to theories that suggest Jackson's death may not have been as straightforward as initially believed. The allegations against Diddy, which include claims of his involvement in illicit activities and misconduct, further complicate the situation. Kanye West's comments about Diddy being a Fed and his involvement in a larger scheme have added a new layer to the speculation. While these allegations remain unproven, they have captured the public's attention and fueled ongoing discussions about the true nature of Michael Jackson's death. The public's reaction to these resurfacing controversies has been a mix of shock, skepticism, and curiosity. Fans of Michael Jackson continue to seek answers and closure, while the allegations against Diddy have led to calls for deeper investigations. Social media and online forums buzz with theories and debates, reflecting a deep-seated desire to understand what really happened to the king of pop. It is important to approach these matters with a critical mind and to remember that while speculation and accusation can spark important discussions, they should not be taken as definitive proof of wrongdoing. To Michael Jackson's legacy as a groundbreaking artist and performer remain significant, and his contributions to music and culture are undeniable. However, the questions surrounding his death and the actions of those around him continue to provoke thought and inquiry. As more information comes to light, It is crucial for investigations to remain thorough and impartial. Until then, the public will likely continue to grapple with the uncertainties and controversies that surround Michael Jackson's death. The ongoing debates and speculations highlight the need for transparency and accountability in addressing these complex issues. Ultimately, the story of Michael Jackson's life and death is a reminder of the complexities of fame and the impact of powerful individuals on public narratives. As we navigate these controversies, we must balance our quest for truth with respect for Jackson's legacy and the dignity